to this week's program of Zen, Life on the Autism Spectrum. I'm Keith Halpern.
And I'm Will Burnick.
And today our guest is Stephanie Dignam, Employment Services Manager of the Pomeroy Center. And before we get into that, I got to ask Will, what's with your shirt today?
I'm glad you asked. I'm wearing my Warriors shirt. This represents the Golden State Warriors. I'm wearing it to support them at the start of their season. We begin with Stephanie Dignam. Tell us about the Pomeroy Center.
Oh, well, thanks for asking, Will. The Pomeroy Center was founded in 1952. It was founded by Janet Pomeroy. It was one of the first recreation centers for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities in the country. We're at our current location since the mid-'70s, and since that time, we've expanded to have employment services, which is what I manage there at the Pomeroy. We also have residential facilities. We have a children's and teens department. It's a fabulous place. We have a landscaping group. We have individuals that come for recreation and social programming 5 days a week from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. We also have evening programming. So if you want to check it out, you can find it at prrcsf.org. Anyways, it's a lovely place. Thanks for asking.
Tell us about your background.
Well, my background is pretty varied. I actually have an undergraduate major in natural resource management and a master's degree in nonprofit management. I sort of fell into this work partially just because of the love of the work in the community and really enjoying the things that I get to do with Pomeroy. This is the third program that I've worked in the third state. I worked in a children's and teens program as a behavioral management specialist, and I also worked as a community integration specialist in Colorado Springs. And so I was hired at the Pomeroy in 2016 to design and implement an employment services program. And since then, we've been able to grow the programming, and we've provided services to approximately 75 clients, both on-site and off-site training, job placement, job coaching, and through small business attainment via our art program and our farm-to-market program.
Is the job market for persons with autism and other developmental disabilities changing?
You know, I hope so. I see a really bright future. The switch to more person-centered and individualized servicing, I believe, is really important. We want a life, not services. And I really believe that a lot of programs and a lot of individuals are really starting to embody this idea of what is inclusion and what does that look like, stepping away from what I consider token inclusion. And so I see things changing. I see amazing programs coming for, especially in the Bay Area, for like tech communities and these larger companies that are really embracing individuals on the autism spectrum and really gearing their own employment searches and services towards the strengths that we see that individuals on the spectrum have that other individuals might not present. I'm also seeing a lot of really amazing things happening with what we call the gig economy. So individuals who maybe want to work a more flexible schedule or on their own time can do things like we were talking, I believe, before we started filming about Amazon, or maybe working for like an app, walking dogs or doing shopping. Those sorts of things is a good way to kind of supplement income in ways that is really flexible for individuals who might not necessarily want to engage in traditional employment.
Stephanie, so when a new person comes into Pomeroy for employment services, can you walk us through about what happens to them and what the whole process is?
Oh, absolutely. So generally individuals are referred through the Department of Rehabilitation, which is a state-funded entity that assists individuals with job search and different things that they might need. So a client will come to me, one of two things will happen. Either they come to me with a really great idea of kind of exactly what they want to do and are a placement they want. They want to work at Safeway, so they know exactly what they want and they're ready to go. So we get what's called employment services. And then at that point, we help with placement, and then we help with job coaching. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we just help with job coaching. It just depends. And then the other route, which is the route that I'm kind of most involved with, is when an individual will come for what's called a situational assessment. And this is with an individual might be wanting to try out a new job type, or might just be we're trying to kind of assess the range of supports and services that might be needed. This is also a good time for us to kind of get to know and build a relationship with a client and kind of really suss out these amazing skills that all individuals have, right? We all have our strengths. We all have these wonderful things that we're able to do. And so the Department of Rehabilitation allows us approximately 36 hours to kind of spend time with a client, trying things out and kind of seeing what might be a good fit, what we might want to try to extend out as far as job types. After that, we can do a couple different things. We can go into what I was stating before, which is employment services, where an individual will just begin a job placement. We help create a resume, set up interviews, things like that. Or we'll do what's called work adjustment training, and that might be for an individual who might want to get further training around specific skills around a job type that they've never had before. Like I was speaking before about the gig economy, say somebody wanted to become like an independent shopper for someone. We would assist them, taking them around and showing them how to purchase items, how to scan things, all the steps necessary for that type of job. So work adjustment is generally for somebody who wants to receive more training before going into employment services. And then after placement, we generally do job coaching, and that lasts about 90 days through the Department of Rehabilitation. If a client is a client of the Golden Gate Regional Center, they can get what's called habilitation services, which provides long-term employment supports, which we also provide. Speaking of Golden Gate Regional Center, they also have what's called a paid internship program. And so that also gives us the opportunity to have clients try out different jobs out in the community or also at Pomeroy. We have some amazing interns at the Pomeroy Center currently. And it gives them a chance to build out their resume and also gain skills in the community. So that's primarily what we do. On the side, we also do a little bit of art sales and kind of the cultural arts as well.
So it sounds like you've already alluded to this a little bit, but what do you in cases clients come into the Pomeroy Center and they know what they don't want to do or they know what they're not good at, but they aren't sure what they are good at or what they would like to do as far as how do you help those people?
You know, it's kind of the best part of the job because then we just get to try a bunch of different things, right? We've set up all this amazing stuff at the Pomeroy because you can come and we have retail training, we have administrative trainings, we have a relationship going with different organizations where we can go out and try different job types. We were working with Muttville for a while doing senior dog rescue, which was super duper fun. We were at Petco, we were doing rabbit rescue. And so what we really get to do is go, well, what do you like? Okay, well, let's try that. Let's see if we can find an organization that supports that. And if an organization doesn't support that, let's see how we can attempt to build out a training around what your interests are. And, you know, it's the best part of my job because, again, I get to wear a ton of hats. I get to be a film producer. I get to be a janitor. I get to be a bunny care specialist. I get to be a personal shopper at Target. And we get to try these things with everybody. And it's wonderful. So that's kind of what it is. We call it employment discovery. We just go out and discover what we enjoy. You know, it's fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Can you tell us also about some of the kinds of jobs that your clients do, particularly for those clients you have that are on the spectrum?
Absolutely. We currently have clients working all types of different positions. We have clients that have been working in law firms in the city, working in the mailroom for 10 plus years, and they really enjoy that. I have clients that primarily work in customer service, so we're generally seeing individuals who are working in retail and customer service in that way. One of the things that I like to speak to is the longevity of clients in the workforce. When we're able to find that the particular fit of skills and kind of employee-employer relation. I've had clients that have been successful in employment for 20 plus years. I have an individual who works at Home Depot that's been there for 22 years. And so really when you find that fit, But again, as far as job type, we're seeing, and I believe this is going to change as we begin to do more person-centered planning and more educational attainment and robust training. We're seeing kind of that retail customer service is primarily the job type.
Cece, I understand you have a couple of questions for Stephanie.
I do. So, so I take it you got lots of clients that have probably multiple talents and skills and are very good at it and probably are passionate about it, and very commendable that, you know, they should do all that they're good at, all
Sure.
the things that they're great at. So do you especially help out with, you know, which ones like to really utilize and you know, it could be many things, but do you find the particular like skills and talents that you help them utilize that they're really good at and that they really love to do?
Oh, like sussing out like really like skill sets, strengths.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So Pomeroy Center is pretty unique. We have a pretty expansive campus, and so we're able to host what's called a One Center program. And in that One Center programming, we provide 3 classes per day. It's about 12 classes per class period, and it can be anything from movement awareness and dance. We do creative expression, and that way we also do like world history. We have like swimming. We have martial arts. We have an amazing dance program. We actually built a dance studio specifically for the program, I believe. And so clients are able to come and kind of experience all these different things. And through that, we're able to kind of find different passions, right? We're able to really kind of touch on these things that really kind of bring people to life, right?
That's great.
The things inside you that really keep you intrinsically motivated to do a job, to continue on on a certain path. We have a client that we've been promoting. He's so fabulous. He loves dance and he loves drag, and he wanted to do full face work. And we have absolutely been able to have him go out. And if you check out our website, again, prcsf.org, you can see every month we have this cool drag fundraiser, and people are able to go out and do that. So we're able to take your passion in whatever form and really try to build on that. I feel we're able to capitalize on that primarily through the different diverse program we have at One Center.
Music to my ears.
Oh, yay. Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Will, I understand you have another question or two.
I have 3.
Excellent.
What's the most exciting thing that's happened to you at the Pomeroy Center?
Well, the most exciting thing that's happened to me is probably the most exciting thing that's happened around me. Because the Pomeroy Center really isn't about me. It's about what happens, the miracles there every day. Okay. I'm going to try not to get emotional. We had a client who had experienced a stroke and had been working for quite a long time to regain some mobility, primarily around walking. And we had a talent show. We have a talent show. We have talent shows. You know, It's fabulous. And that day, his talent was going up on stage in his chair, putting on those brakes, standing up, and taking some steps. And I tell you, I have never seen a place erupt with so much applause and cheers and tears and excitement. It was like we won the World Series. It was like the Warriors were like tremendous, the champions. It was such a beautiful moment because we were doing what we do there every day, which is celebrating our victories as they come, celebrating the beautiful moments and the amazing capacity of individuals just at their level and wherever we are. And the most exciting thing about Pomeroy is that we do that every single day. So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, because you put them in the correct environment. That's
think-
part of it. Yeah, I mean,
It's okay. I think it's about being supportive. I think it is
that
about being
too.
supportive. And then it's about understanding that this community expands beyond the walls of Pomeroy. And so just working towards that, which is the ultimate goal. Did you have other questions, Will?
Do you work with students with other disabilities?
Absolutely. We work with individuals with varied and diverse intellectual and developmental. I don't like the word disability. The neurodiverse community. Thank you.
Yes.
Anything, whatever you tell me. I'm not here to narrate that. So I work with individuals all across the neurodiverse community. Also, individuals with traumatic brain injury and mental health. Absolutely.
So Stephanie, what have you found to be the biggest challenge in getting employment for your clients, particularly those on the neurodiverse spectrum?
I think the biggest challenge has little to do with the clients and a lot to do with the employers. I think it has to do with outreach. I think it has to do with companies not understanding that the quote unquote challenges that they think they're going to face might not be nearly as severe as what they're envisioning, right? There seems to be this kind of catastrophic thinking around individuals in the neurodiverse community, primarily related to maybe litigation or these other things that might happen in employment. And so what I truly think is one of the largest barriers currently and needs to happen is just, again, that outreach. Employers who employ individuals in the neurodiverse community need to be able to speak to other employers. I can shout out into the ethos forever about this, but their peers are going to really help that. So I think business owners, employers need to really speak to the skills and strengths of the neurodiverse community and the hiring there.
Thank you very much, Stephanie.
So welcome.
And now we will be going on to our cultural correspondent, Stacey Kennedy.
Thank you, Keith. Hello, everybody, and almost happy end of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and everything.
Yes.
Today, I have two. I guess technically, I have two things to share that pretty rounds up the rest of this year. Tuesday, December 24th, and Saturday, December 28th. And you want to check with your AMC. Theaters.com, and what you do, go onto the amctheaters.com and you type in your zip code. That's one way you'd like to do it or so, and you check which participating theaters where they're going to have a friendly film day. On these days they're supposed to show Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and so check your participating theaters and what time, and so December 24th and December 28th, they are supposed to show that. And I apparently, some people have seen it already. They like it. There's mixed reviews. I haven't yet, but go see that. It's supposed to be a sensory-friendly film day, those days. Okay, so going on until Tuesday, December 31st, there will be a Creativity Explored holiday art shop. And you can visit the website creativityexplorer.com for extended holiday hours. And at Creativity Explored Gallery, Studio 3245 16th Street, Guerrero and Dolores. That's what they say what the cross street is. Anyhow, the holiday shopping season approaches, and Creativity Explorer is opening the vaults of their exclusive collection of original artwork by local artists with developmental differences. I like to say differences. During the holiday art shop, the general public will access new and previous exhibited frames and unframed paintings and drawings, plus a huge collection of handmade ceramics, textile art, and original fashions. Limited edition gift items with purchases directly supporting local artists with developmental differences. So again, that is Tuesday, December 31st, and check the website of what time it starts. I usually do, but I didn't this time. But so that's happening till December 31st. Again, Happy New Year. See you next year.
Thank you, Stacey. And we'll now move on to Jennifer Brooks, our book correspondent.
Thank you very much, Keith. Today's book is Autism All-Stars: How We Use Our Autism and Asperger Traits to Shine in Life. And this features essays written by many different authors on the autism spectrum, some of them who are quite famous, like Dr. Temple Grandin, there in the middle, and some who are not so famous, but probably should be better known. Part 1 is 3 authors talking about their educational experiences, the positives and the sadly mostly negatives, because most people of this generation were ignored by the school system. I know I was. Jessica Pierce shares her days as a, quote, vampire Aspie, and how she doodled her way through college university to combat her attempts to fit in and socialize. Stan Hood proves that you're never too old to study and takes pride in the fact that in his early 60s, he is finally attending university. And Ian Payne defines how during his university studies he finally received a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome. Well, he was luckier than I was. I didn't get mine until years after I graduated college. And how it changed his life in a positive way. And it goes on, we have Temple Grandin giving career advice, along with Roger N. Meyer, Damian Santomaro, Malcolm Johnson, and Sandra Williams. Then we have authors talking about relationships, creativity, and special interests. So, Autism All-Stars. Check it out.
Thank you.
So, what does a job coach do? What's the biggest role?
So the biggest role is connecting with the individual, where they're at. We go in and we meet the person, we meet the employer, and chances are we may have been working with the employer or with the individual, and seeing the job placement through, but sometimes we don't, or we haven't, and we're just referred to job coach this individual. So we would go in and find out what their needs are, and what their strengths, and really play upon their strengths, and bring that all into to fill the job description, and their tasks at hand, and then just figure out like what supports they need, and then encourage them to incorporate tools to do it most independently, and then hopefully wean off the job coaching. But there's some people that we continue to job coach, and we're there like in other capacities to help with like all the Social Security benefits reporting, and to make sure that their benefits stay in place while they're working. I mean, that's a huge role that I play as a job coach, is like being that liaison between the person and the employer, and then their like Social Security reporting, so their benefits stay in place. And a lot of times if they have the job coaching, then they can check that box that says needs extra supervision, and then they their benefits can remain in place from Social Security. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes, I was wondering about the range of people you work with, and specifically, do you ever work with clients who are at the higher functioning end, like the engineers and computer programmers?
Very good question. We do work with people, a broad range of abilities. And as far as like computer programmers and engineers, more so like I think through the ACE program. Are you familiar with the ACE program?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that would be the capacity that we would like support people. And currently, we've worked with people in internships like through the city and county of San Francisco. But I think that would be the avenue to go, and we work closely with Department of Rehab to get people on that higher end of the functioning spectrum to with their masters, as you said, to get them into those positions. And there's a way that you can do that, like, and then you get your certification from Department of Rehab, and then that sort of helps you like get those positions that like engineers or computer programmers or analysts may be seeking through the city and county of San Francisco.
Great.
Does that help to?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes it does. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you again, Lori Petronas of the PRRC. You're doing great work. If our viewers are interested in finding out more about what you do and what the center does, what's the best way of contacting you or them?
That's a good question, and to go to prrcsf.org. So Pomeroy Recreation and Rehabilitation Center sf.org. So prrcsf.org. I know our name's a mouthful, but
But it's a tasty
what we do.
mouthful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
And now we'll hear from Jennifer Brooks, our book correspondent.
Thank you, Keith. Today's book is called The Disordered Mind: What Unusual Brains Tell Us About Ourselves, by a winner of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, Eric Kandel. Now, some of you might object to the title, thinking my mind is not disordered, it's just different. Yes, that is a valid point. If you can get past that, though, this is an excellent book to read because it discusses the genetic and biological and neurological basis of not only autism but many of the other mental illnesses and brain differences that are prevalent in the population, and that in the past we were told, oh, it's all social constructed. It's entirely due to environmental factors. And, you know, if society only tried hard enough and was willing to put enough resources into the effort, we could socially construct everyone to either be or not be like that, whatever that may be. No, that's not true at all. And this is a very excellent guide to why that's not true. And so it goes chapter by chapter. There is a chapter on autism. There are also chapters on other things like depression, schizophrenia, Parkinson's disease, addictions, and transgenderism. And there's also a chapter on the interrelation between brain differences and creativity in the artistic realm. And it also includes some excellent and quite beautiful illustrations of just what it is that's happening in the brains of these people that are different from what is the majority in the population. So this is a very highly recommended book, especially for those of you who are still convinced that all of these things are socially constructed.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you, Keith.
And last thing before we go, folks, our previous program that we had on the Dickens Fair has been getting a lot of good publicity. So if you have not yet seen it, it is currently available on YouTube and Vimeo, and we strongly urge you to take a look if it's all interest. So until next time, we're wishing you a happy holidays. I'm Keith Halperin.
I'm Will Burnick.
Stacey Kennedy.
I'm Stephanie Dignam.
I'm Jennifer Brooks.
Until next year, best to all of you from Ascend Life on the Autism Spectrum.